Happy Labor Day, happy Labor Day. What a Friday in Abaco. It's very cloudy out there today. Not a good day in Abaco. Overcast, rain, dirt everywhere, like I said earlier. Nobody knows how to mow here. But happy Labor Day. I have to be stuck here. It's the best time in Abaco is to be by yourself. Just quiet and trying to make the best out of it. Keep soldiering. It's amazing, you try to stay on track. And for my life, ever since I started to say I'm gonna go to the next level, there's people that try to knock you down. And what they don't understand is that Kai is only putting himself forward to try to make life better for Bahamians. Every position of hell, I have made it better because I observe and I see all the crooks and cronies. Kai will never get to that level because I will outshadow somebody. I will show them how to represent. If you noted in Abaco, North Abaco in particular, what has happened in the last 35 years as we speak about labor and member of parliamentship. 35 years. Well, that's a long time to look at one Negro face. 35 years. Not one single project to date that could make 50 cents for the people of North Abaco. Yet Hubert Ingram being there 3 times as Prime Minister. And nobody from North Abaco got a position to be nothing under him because he didn't think we deserved nothing. And every time I go out Treasury Airport, boy, they hate when I say the truth about Hubert. You look at Treasury Airport building, for those of you that are in my age group, you remember the first building that we had up there in the Marshall Bay Airport. And that is that's the essence of the Hubert Ingram rule. And then he won't talk about how Pinland treat the people of Andros when he was Pinland's favorite son. And the thing about the labor, Hubert said, while he's chairman of the PLP, that nobody like Brent Simmons or his kind would ever be able to stand up and control this country anymore by any means. No name that they should be in rulership position. And he also said that basically about Abaconians. You imagine 35 years, Hubert didn't groom one person to succeed him. That is called dictatorship. He never wanted to train nobody because he wanted it all for himself. He wanted to stay there till Christ come. Rude. Wouldn't have a meeting in 25 years, not one meeting. Then Hubert gone. Brought Greg Gomez. Greg was missing in action for 20 years in America. He's back in America opening his church this month, already opened it. Greg gone. Then they bring Renato Corey. Boy, I was so coward when they used to carry him to meetings with me. Coward, scared, and broke. I had to pay for everything. Kai paid for everything. Renato gone after the election. I never seen nothing like that in all my Jesus days. After the election, Renato gone. Then after 35, 40 years, Hubert walking around Cooperstown and Dunderston with Darren Henfield. And now they come to me and talking about Darren. I said, let me tell you something. Darren happened to be my classmate. Some 45 years ago, we stood side by side. My first election, Darren was my campaign manager in Spring City. He called me a nickname today that only him one called. I got many nicknames, but he's the only one that knows that name. I don't let nobody know that name. He knows that that's our name. He saw me in action in Spring City at the age of 15 years, going up against this white girl. She was so smart. She used to make me sick. She passed everything. She was sharp because I never heard anything called tutoring. Her parents had money, so they used to help people teach her after school while we playing marbles. She's getting ahead of us, so she was top in the class. I used to hate that, but we beat her. And now everywhere I go in Treasure Key and elsewhere, they talking to me like I'm gonna put any video there hating Darren. I will never put a video there hateful to Darren. I will put a video there describing Abaco. Because right after the election, I took a picture of Darren going through the check-in. I said, that's what you're gonna see for 5 years, the back of him. So in instance, Abaco again has no representation because Darren basically live out of suitcase. What the hell he could do with no Abaco when he's flying all over the world, signing these treaties that don't have a hell or nothing to do with Abaco, nor the Bahamas. When is somebody, anybody, gonna put forth some legislation from the Family Islands that's gonna benefit the Family Island people? They don't care about us. So let me sum it all up. In 40 years, this is what happened in North Abaco. Hubert gone to Nassau. Then we had Renato Curry. Renato Curry gone to Nassau. Something about Nassau. Then Darren got elected, and he spent more time in Nassau than he spent in Abaco, because that's where he's from. Darren gone to Nassau. The Kai Care man is still here, still trying to agitate for Abaco. Not because I want to be MP, because I care dearly about this island called Abaco. And what do we have? I talked to my brother Roscoe. I call brother Roscoe my brother because Roscoe is a biggity white boy. And he would say to me today, why all your videos gotta have white and black in it? Roscoe, that's the world that we live in Abaco, black and white. Why is it that every person in management in this resort in Abaco is white foreigners? Roscoe, have you ever seen a black manager in the Great Abaco Beach Hotel? That's your family place. Y'all give it to that old Greek. That's the Thompson estate. The Thompson started that. Have you ever seen a black one in management there? Have you ever seen a black manager in the Abaco Club? Have you ever seen a black manager in Treasure Key? If Paula Molly can't run Treasure Key, she might as well bury her head in the sand in Treasure Key Beach. After 30 years, she can't run and doing what the Capio or whatever you name down there is doing. How come Mr. Browning, with a little racist self, would grab me the other day, could run the Abaco Club, and he just came there, and you have people being there from the beginning of the Abaco Club? We gotta be the dumbest, stupidest black people in the Bahamas if we can't run a resort, and we went to college too. Look at Baker's Bay, the biggest thing that ever happened to Abaco. Biggest thing as far as employment. Mike Melvin put the tennis pro, the golf pro. This boy was hitting golf ball. He ain't know a hell but management, but he run the resort for years. Then you got people like Duncan Bynes and Jeff Jones gonna have the black people to train the white people and then send the black home. That is happening in the banks all over the Bahamas. They're training people to take their job. And Roscoe gonna ask me why I talk but black and white in Abaco. It is sickening to the core. And the Haitians, boy, they're my black brothers and sisters. I'm more closer to the Haitians as far as respect than my own Bahamians. And they're using the Haitians as slave. Let me tell you something. Don't you ever think that them Haitians is no fool. They're in every restaurant, every bar, every inch of society. They could poison the Bahamas right out. And they count them undesirable. But there's a new trend in Abaco now. They're called Filipinos. And what these women don't know, you got these Filipinos to clean your house. When you look, your husband get a little side piece for them. When you look, you start to go crazy because they drop something in your drink and your food because they now want to take your husband because you're all so racist. You ain't want no Negroes in your house no more. The trend is to get a Filipino. Oh, they can take better care of you. Of course they can. They come from a communist country. They come from a war-torn country. They will cut your throat and think nothing of you. Keep hiring these slick hair Filipinos because you don't want no blacks in your house and you're treating them Filipinos like slaves. Keep on keeping on as we labor. The labor force are being taken over by Haitians and Filipinos. The Bahamians are in trouble. See, one man of war fella got a whole, you could used to call them Indians there, a whole tribe of Filipinos in Guanaqui. They don't want them black fellas no more. These Filipinos will wake all day and all you gotta do is give them one sandwich at the end of the week. Slavery manifested in the name of Filipinos. How the hell does Filipinos get a work permit to do gardening in the Bahamas? The immigration board is the laughing stock of the country. The fella got 1,000 Filipinos. Look like he got 1,000,000. When the ferry coming, the ferry dark with them little black, brown fellas coming off of Guanaqui. What do we have here in this country on Labor Day? The labor force is being taken over by foreigners, and they're the same brutes that are going to take over this country quietly, because Filipinos know how to war. They know how to kill. Keep bringing them in. When your neck gets chopped over and kicked overboard, then you know why you bring them Filipinos in. As Kai speaks about the labor movement and our illustrious Prime Minister that never promote nobody in North Abaco to nothing. And he left broken down airport, an old port down there, with only him and the Chinese. They must be doing a submarine in there tonight. That's the only thing on there. Submarine and Spirit coming to that port down there. $40 million sitting there. And Hubert couldn't open it. Perry couldn't open it. And another Hubert came down there and opened Treehouse in Spring City, while we got $40 million sitting down there in the back of Copistan. That is labor in vain. Kai Case, just giving you my point of view on the labor force and the lack thereof in Abaco. Happy Labor Day to y'all. I gotta work, brother. Bills gotta be paid. You're live on WCAY when all of the representation from Abaco, the leadership, is back in Nassau, and Kai is here in this hot sun, laboring for the people that don't appreciate the small thing that I do. But I don't worry about that, because once it's come from the heart, I'm good. I speak truth. Somebody gets bashed every time I speak it, because the truth is like a two-edged razor. It cuts you when it goes that way, and it cuts you that way. And Bahamians don't like truth. They like lies. Kai cares. I ain't gonna lie. Before I lie, Kai gonna die.